What's up, everyone? It's Cannan, and welcome to, I guess we should just now call it the Geeky Sane Couple Studios. Welcome back to another video, live from the studio, and might as well call it something. We're stuck with it for now. But this is a little different video than I usually do. You know, I struggled all day at work to come up with something different. So I wanted to do something that was not a Let's Play. We've done 2 Ruby videos in a row, so wanted to give you guys a little break from Ruby for now. And you know, I was like, you know what? Why not do a lore video on my personal Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy XIV? Now, this is not the character that I use in my Let's Play that I'm doing for the channel. This is for my overall main character, the one that I've done the entirety of the game with, through all the raids, all the alliance raids, all the just everything. I've done everything with this character, and I'm attached to this character. It was the first character I ever made for Final Fantasy XIV, so much so that I've come up with a background for her, a background story and all that, and so I wanted to share that with you all. But real quick, before I get into that, you know, if you see a little screen behind me, Jess is playing with her new toy. I got Jess a PlayStation 5 for Christmas, birthday, anniversary. If you guys ever know anything about me, it's that I suck at hiding gifts for a very long time. There's no way I'd have been able to keep that from her for over a month. Plus, I would have had nowhere to hide it successfully. So, yeah, went ahead and gave it to her as part of that. This way, she can play the better version as far as consoles go for Final Fantasy XIV. Now her loading speeds will match mine, the graphic quality, all that stuff, and that way once Dawn Trail comes out, she'll also get that graphical update, because I don't think the PS4 version is getting the graphical update, but yeah. Still gonna get her some stuff for Christmas, maybe some games or accessories or something like that she would like to have, but big day, you know, Rockstar announces that, yes, finally, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. That's a big newsworthy thing in the world of video games, and I thought about maybe doing like a weekly or something like that, video game video, just talking about everything that's going on in the video game world, because I love video games, even if it's not games that I'm particularly excited for. But I don't know. I haven't made my decision on it yet. Because, you know, even though I'm not a big GTA fan, that's a big game. That's big news. So, yeah, happy for the Grand Theft Auto fans. They've been waiting a long time for that. Put it in perspective for our Ruby fans, GTA 5 came out on the PS3 back when Volume 1, I believe, was still airing. So, yeah, a lot of time has went by. But anyway, let's get to the meat of the video. If you enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave a comment, all that good stuff. So I do have some pictures, but I'm only going to show them when we get to where they'll fit in. So, when it comes to me and role-playing games, if it's a game where I can create my own character, I like to get into the role-playing aspect of it. Where is this character from? What kind of upbringing did they have? You know, what preferences do they have? What kind of food do they like? What kind of personality that they have, and all that. And so, when I first played Final Fantasy XIV, before then, I had not really looked much into it, because I didn't have the internet for so many years to even play the game. I had no idea about the different job classes or anything like that. So during the pandemic, when we had good enough internet for me to actually finally try it, I was happy that there was a class where you could fight with hands and feet. A pugilist, which is an old world name for boxer that eventually becomes a monk. And ever since then, I was hooked. Of course, was going to play as a female Makote, you know, what else? And for a while, I could not come up with a name. I sat there for a good long while trying to come up with a name. So what did I do? I went to a good old name generator. Now, at this time, I did not know the backstory behind Makote names, and that pretty much all of them have the letter of the tribe they are from before their name. Y'shtola, for example, is apparently from the Y tribe. That's why she has a Y at the beginning of her name, and her actual name is Shtola. Y'shtola, the Y in it, is to represent the Makote tribe she is from. So I didn't know that. I actually saw that in a lore video, so I was actually kind of, excited to learn that. Now, every character that I've made that's a female Makote, that's a Seeker of the Sun, I just have her come from the Y tribe. She's from the same tribe as Y'shtola. But for my main character, her name is Ahsa. It's Ahsa. And her last name, I've still not really fully decided how it would be pronounced. Like if a letter is silent, but I can't remember, I don't think, how it's spelled. But it starts with, it's Bhffi, I believe. So in my head, I would call it Biffy, or it could be pronounced the other way. I've not decided yet. But anyway, the reason why Ahsa does not have a typical Makote name is because she was not raised in your standard Makote tribe. So I want to say that maybe now, like I said, this is personal headcanon. This is my canon for my Warrior of Light. So there's probably a lot of people out there who have different lores for their characters. But for my character, I want to say she was maybe 19 or 20 by the time she reached Eorzea at the beginning of A Realm Reborn. So let's say around that. So Ahsa was born outside of Eorzea, of course, because I believe at the beginning of A Realm Reborn, it is said that your character is new to Eorzea. Now, of course, if you played the classic 1.0 version, the Warrior of Light has a little bit different of a backstory, but I'm going with if you just start with A Realm Reborn. You arrive as a new adventurer in Eorzea, and before then, I've not really decided what kind of land she originally came from. It's not one that, of course, we've seen in the game so far, because I believe also in lore videos, the Makote originally came from another land before they came to Eorzea. But since she didn't grow up in your typical Makote tribe, she's not originally from, like, the Makote homeland. So as of right now, let's just say she grew up on just some unnamed, as of now, island community, something like that. She grew up without a father. She was raised by her mother, who was also Makote. Still don't have a name for what her mom would have been. Her mom really didn't have any lovers, but she did have a friend who stayed with them, who was also a Makote. And her mother, in her heyday, was a very well-known adventurer. She might have been more of a mercenary at that time. And her mother was a pugilist. She used her hands and feet to fight. And so, as Ahsa grew up, got a little bit older, maybe around, let's say, 7, 8 years old, everyone in the community started realizing that she was stronger than normal. Now, I'm not saying she was lifting trees out of the ground, but whenever there would be a monster attack of any kind, it was always Ahsa who would be there to fight. And even though 7 or 8 years old, no training at that time, she was able to defeat these monsters with relative ease. And at first, Ahsa's mother did not want her to technically live the life she had. She wanted Ahsa to have a simple life, grow up and be what you want to be, but it was very obvious that the life of an adventurer was going to be in Ahsa's future. And so her mother decided to raise her as a pugilist. She started training her in the ways of fighting with your fists and your feet. When I show you the pictures, you'll notice that Ahsa has a little bit of a scar on the bridge of her nose. That's from her training. And as the training went on, Ahsa quickly started becoming more skilled and stronger than her mother, to where it was very obvious that Ahsa really couldn't learn much more from her mother. And this is by the age, I would say, of even 10, 11. And so Ahsa started doing odd jobs around the village for people, whether it be collecting things, helping put together stuff like crafting, or helping hunt for monsters for food. And so by the age of, I'd say about 18, she's so strong that she's literally the protector of the community. But that itch to see the world starts really creeping in, because through her life, her mother would also tell her stories of the many places she's been. Now, despite being a very strong fighter, Ahsa is very... Since she's a Makote, I don't want to say curious, because, curious cat. But yeah, she's very curious about the world. She wants to see it. She wants to see all these great lands, the different people, the different foods. She does have a bit of an appetite. She also has a bit of an appetite for spicy food. That's a little bit of me throwing into the character. I love spicy food. And so, yeah, by her creeping up on her 19th birthday, she tells her mom that she wants to see the world. She wants to become an adventurer. Now, unlike how her mom grew up, she wants Ahsa to have a bit of a proper introduction to being an adventurer. So she tells her about Eorzea and the many guilds there, and of course the Adventurers Guild that is there, that is a bit more of an official job to have, where you can make money, make a name for yourself, and hone your skills. And Ahsa jumps at it, and right after her 19th birthday, she says farewell to her mother and the community that's pretty much been her family her entire life, and sets course for Eorzea. Now, of course, she ends up in Thanalan, going to the city of Ul'dah, because she has found out about the Pugilist Guild there. So Ahsa arrives in Eorzea, and pretty much the events of Final Fantasy XIV happen. So, a little bit more about Ahsa. Very curious by nature, very fiery, loves to fight. In a way, she's kind of a little bit like Goku in a way. She always wants to fight stronger opponents, loves to eat, and yes, she does kind of have the eye for the ladies. It's a running gag that I tell Jess all the time that Ahsa has had a secret crush on Y'shtola since the moment she met her. Now, of course, I don't think dating NPCs will ever be a thing in 14, but who knows? But sadly, it'll probably always be unreturned. Jess has a second character on the server that Ahsa is on, and we're probably going to finally marry Ahsa off to Jess's character. But one thing that I really started doing recently, at one point Ahsa's hairstyle was lightnings from Final Fantasy XIII. That's because I'm one of the few who enjoyed Final Fantasy XIII and its sequels, so, that was the first Final Fantasy that I introduced Jess to. Jess, to this day, still loves lightning, cosplays as her. I've actually done a male Fang because we ship lightning and Fang. And, I don't know, I just thought it was cool that she could have lightning's hairstyle, but then after a while I was like, I don't really want her to have a hairstyle or clothes based off a pre-existing character. So I came up with the idea to have Ahsa have a different hairstyle each expansion. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of Ahsa's evolution as the games went on. So this is her at the end of A Realm Reborn. This is after the Bloody Banquet, right before Heavensward begins. And as you can see, she has red eyes and black hair with blue highlights. I don't know. I've always liked black hair with blue highlights. I don't know why. I just do. Originally I was going to do red, but I was like, that kind of reminds me of Ruby in a way, so I'll go with blue. But here she's wearing the monk armor that you get at level 50 in A Realm Reborn. Not exactly the strongest armor set, but I went with this for this picture just because it's in game. It's the end of A Realm Reborn. Then in Heavensward, she slightly changes up her, cuts it a little bit more short. Could this have been an attempt to hide her identity in a way because of what happens at the end of A Realm Reborn? Don't really know, because it turns out that the Scions don't really need to hide. She's wearing the Tantra set here, which you get at level 60 at the end of the Monk quest line. And this is around the end of Heavensward. I always liked this outfit because it's very monk-like. It's a very monk outfit, unlike some of the other outfits you get throughout the game. Then moving on to Stormblood, she lets her hair grow out a good bit to where it's covering some of her face. I like to pretend that a little bit of time happened between the true ending of Heavensward into the post-content before the war breaks out in Stormblood, so she had time to grow her hair out a little bit. And of course, she's wearing the pacifist armor set. Personally, I think still to this day, my favorite monk outfit in the game. I really want to actually cosplay a male version of Ahsa, and Jess asked me which outfit, and it's always been this one. But yeah, it's going to take a while for that one. Jess already cosplays as Y'shtola, so that will actually go with, my character having a crush on Y'shtola. But yes, this is the very end of Stormblood, right before Shadowbringers starts. Then in Shadowbringers, you can't really see it in this picture, but this is a longer hairstyle. The hair actually goes a little bit below the neckline. Can't really see the blue in this one. It's more of in the back. But this is one of the in-game armor sets for Shadowbringers. This is during the patch content. I still think to this day, Shadowbringers had the longest patch content because it's separated into two parts for the patch content. But yeah, I chose this hairstyle because of the Endwalker hairstyle, which is the Rainmaker hairstyle. I'm usually not a big ponytail fan for hairstyles, but I love this one. I love how spiky it is. And so, yeah, she let her hair grow out a good bit in between Shadowbringers and Endwalker to be able to put her hair up this way. And of course, she's wearing the level 89 monk outfit, which is it the strongest one, especially now in the patch content? No, but it's the outfit she was wearing when I beat Endwalker, so I always put her in that. Especially if I played New Game Plus, I'll put her in this outfit, though it's glamored. And finally, there comes Dawntrail. So in this picture, she's wearing just one of the outfits I decided to put her in. We don't have any of Dawntrail's outfits yet. That won't be until the game comes out. They actually did release a new outfit for the ending of the current Alliance raid, but I've not got all the pieces yet. I'm one short, which turns out to be the chest piece. So I would have put her in that, but this is the hairstyle I'm going to go for in Dawntrail. Back to being short, but I think it fits the theme of Dawntrail a little bit. The summer vacation. She's got a little braid going on with some beads, it looks like. And this, and I don't know, to me, this fits, for me, a fighter's hairstyle. I really like this one. Who knows how her hair will evolve as the game continues, you know, because they're not going to stop anytime soon. There will be an expansion after Dawn Trail. It just depends on the theme of it and all that. But yes, that is Ahsa through the game, from A Realm Reborn to eventually Dawn Trail. I switched her hairstyle because since we're still technically in Endwalker content, she still has the ponytail. But yes, that's a little lore about my character from Final Fantasy XIV, the Warrior of Light, in my version of Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah, for me, it was always hinted early in age that she was different, that she was stronger than your average adventurer. And of course, that would be the Blessing of Light, the Echo, all that for me was already there when she was born. She was chosen. She was chosen as the Warrior of Light from birth. So yeah, that's a short little video, just something different. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave a comment. If you play Final Fantasy XIV and you roleplay while you play, what's the backstory for your Warrior of Light? Please let me know in the comments. As always, guys, this is Cannan. Me and Jess love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.